It was a few minutes later, I see an email come through on the Load Boss account, and it's from this broker, and it's basically an internal communication in their company that was saying, "Hey, this bill of lading number has been flagged for attention." Didn't say fraud; it said been flagged for attention. Review this with your manager immediately. Of course, I'm reading this as me going, "I don't have a manager," and my dispatcher's kind of not knowing exactly what's going on right now. We're all getting this information at the same time,
And this
but
is
it's
the
not
first
factual information. It's just now the question
warning.
marks are coming in of what's going on.
But this is
And
your first time ever dealing with this, where you don't really have a
no,
plan of action of what to do.
no, but I will tell you where my fears got heightened is this email that come through. It said, the subject line of it said Mike Frank. And thing we've learned on the Facebook groups, if there's two first names, Jamie Bob, Mike Frank, Jim John, those are scam. They're scammer accounts. They will come across. There's real people typing on them, and they're luring you in to take your money and not pay you. And that's when all my alarm whistles are going off. And I message dispatch. I'm like, this is guaranteed fraud. It says Mike Frank. This is two first names. Well, she had already had me on the understanding that before I undo a strap when I get here, anything, when I get to this delivery spot, and I'm on board, we are going to get a picture of Mr. Mike Freeman and a photo of his Texas identification that this broker's showing they have. So we're going to verify this before we unload this load.
Okay, so there's still potential to get it. It's just a question mark at this point.
And at this point, I'm still thinking it's a scam from the top down, and the broker isn't.
Because of the industry itself having so much of that happen.
Well, come to find out, dispatch had been talking to Frank from the broker this whole time, and I didn't know she's having this talk. I'm communicating with this Mike Freeman, who's the so-called customer on both of these.
Okay, so she's talking to somebody named Frank at the brokerage, and you're talking to this Michael Freeman.
Yeah. And then I get the email that says Mike Frank, and I'm going,
gosh.
Yeah, this is done. It's fraud, but what do? You got me 4 hours now into this
with a load of materials
trip that I'm supposed to make $750 to deliver, and hope and pray we get a load out of Midland. I mean, it's whatever. It's kind of a dead zone to get out of there. And
okay, so you're on the phone with her.
On our way. And then, so I think as I'm looking at my ETA, I'm within an hour to 47 minutes out, and I get a call from the broker, and it's Frank. I finally get to talk to Frank, and this when things start changing for me.
The same Frank that your dispatcher was talking to. Okay, got it.
That I thought it was a scam down, and then this proceeds to be an hour-long conversation with this guy.
Perfect.
Who's telling me, look, all of us owners have been talking about this all day. What happened was, yes, the credit card went through, and they paid the shipper. The credit card went through, and the broker got paid. But what happened internally 3 hours into this load, the brokering company realized there was a flag. Don't get me answering what system they use or whatever, because to me, a credit card either goes through or it doesn't. But apparently it went through, but it had been affiliated with fraud. And if I connected that to the dot of what I heard from the shipper, they said yes, because I ended up in the middle before this broker call. I was getting this weird feeling. I called the shipper back and said, hey, I needed to talk to that guy that told me this was fishy. Basically, the owners at the shipper had already talked about this guy. He has done this before. He's bought products from them before and never shows up. And they finally got to the point of telling him, we need you to come in to pay for your materials or this can't happen. But he played it off. He was like, there's nothing fishy. I just need this for my job site tomorrow. And of course, at the end of the day, they're getting their money. So it's not a scam as far as the shipper's eyes are concerned. But I called him back. At this point. But I called him back like, hey, this is now officially fraud. I mean, this broker is finding this guy. His card is affiliated with fraud.
Right.
And that, he really didn't know what to do, but he admitted more to me in that moment that yes, the owners of the shipper had been talking of what do we do with this guy? And he admitted to me, this guy, he knows his voice on the phone, but he absolutely uses different names. So I don't know if it's different name every time he orders product from them, or if it's just different names over time. But point is, he's done this before. Maybe that's how it came back to affiliated with fraud. It flags it in their internal system.
Wasn't there something that they said about what those items were that made it flag, like something about the driver's license
well
address?
Yeah, and this is in the middle of this hour-long call. Man, this guy's razzled. I'm razzled, but he's being real with me. This is the moment I'm realizing, okay, Frank, and your brokerage is legit. Well, what do we do here? And what was it you asked?
Well, I was asking because I know that they,
yeah,
they said the thing about the.
He told me, he goes, because I told him, I said, dude, I thought this was a scam from the top down, and you were not legit. I didn't know you've been talking to dispatch. So he goes, no, and here's what's happened. He goes, we had this guy send in a Texas identification. His credit card obviously went through, so there was nothing to flag from the beginning of this load.
Right.
He paid the brokerage with the credit card. This guy said they was out $4,000. So, I mean, if I had to guess, I don't know these numbers. It sounds like they ran his card for $4,000.
Right.
That's to pay them for their services.
To then pay you and whoever else
put it on the load boards, hire us, find us, get it
yada,
delivered, pay to me, all that. But it was fraud. So he said the IP address for what it was done came back from the Dominican Republic. This guy's Texas identification, internally they concluded it must have been photoshopped because the address on the Texas identification came back to an address in Maryland. So dots don't match. Some of these long-term guys with direct connect say, why are you doing that? All that's got to match. You got to check it before. Look, none of this was figured out until I'm 3 hours into this 6-hour trip. I mean, I'm almost delivering this load. Nobody knows nothing at this point because payments have gone through at every single point.
It's just a question of there's not been confirmation yet.
But it's fraud. Yeah, it's fraudulent. And I said, so at this point, this was an hour-long conversation. We get down to 15, 20 minutes. I'm away from this destination. I said, look, man, at this point, he's already telling me we've got to figure out what we can do, mitigate our losses. I need to figure out what you want to do. But what we had concluded as owners, we need you to dump that load. We've got to get rid of it. But at all costs, do not deliver it to this guy. They thought I was going to miss this communication and accidentally deliver to this guy, and then he wins again. I said, don't you want to have your eyes on this destination? I mean, I'm hours invested, and now I'm 11 minutes from it. Don't you want to see it? He goes, I said, even you could get some of your eyes on it. And he goes, well, you know what? Yeah. I said, all right, let me get off the phone. I just pulled up to this desolate looking, it's a gravel lot with some semis, some broken down rock truck semis in it. Definitely confirmed not a job site. And so I get out to do this recording. And so here we'll share you some of the tidbits of my interaction at this destination. Because yeah, as I'm like walking around just to do this 360 pan to give these guys visual proof on the ground of where I'm at, what this is, this guy comes walking down the street waving his hand. Every time I look that way, he'd wave his hand. I said, well, this guy's expecting me. Man, I've already got my camera rolling. So let's just walk on up and see what's going on. So that was